You know, we could all use some encouragement. And I've got some good news for you. Welcome to 5 Minutes with Mark.
Hey guys, welcome back to 5 Minutes with Mark. We're picking up the story in the Gospel of Mark, chapter 5, and we're going to start at verse 40. I kind of ended halfway through 40 last time, but we'll pick it up. Jesus has come to Jairus' house. The servants and the people in the house say the daughter is dead. They're weeping, making commotion. Jesus says, "Why are you weeping? She's just sleeping." And they laughed at him. But he put them all outside, took the child's father and mother and those who were with him, and went in where the child was. Taking her by the hand, he said to her, "Talitha cumi," which means, "Little girl, I say to you, arise." And immediately the girl got up and began walking, for she was 12 years of age. And they were immediately overcome with amazement, and he strictly charged them that no one should know this, and told them to give her something to eat. Now, what a great ending to the story, right? What are you weeping about? She's just sleeping. And they laughed. And so he kicks them out. Laugh at me. Get out. I wonder what would have happened if they hadn't laughed. Wonder what would have happened if they just stopped and said, "What happens next?" Because probably they wouldn't have got kicked out of the house. Isn't it interesting? Sometimes our unbelief gets us kicked out. We laugh at God, and people scoff at God all the time. And we think, God's just going to put up with it. But he doesn't. There are consequences to laughing at God. In this case, he missed out. So he kicks them out. He takes the mother, the father, and the three, Peter, James, and John. And I think this is another one of those times, right? I've told you, the Gospel of Mark is Peter's story. It's Mark's pen, it's Peter's voice. And I believe we see here only things that an eyewitness would know, right? What Jesus said, Talitha cumi. That's a pretty interesting little detail. And then he says, to the father and the mother, "Hey, don't tell anybody what just happened, but get her something to eat." See, God cares about us. And Jesus wasn't looking to draw attention to himself. Actually, I think what he's saying is, look, I just kicked all your people out because they didn't have any faith. Now, you know what kind of power I have. Jairus, you knew because you came and got me in the first place. You came in faith. And the reward for your belief is that your daughter, well, she's awake. And she's up walking around. Another interesting little fact, right? She's 12 years old. This is not some infant, which explains why she got up and started walking. She's been walking a long time. I love the Gospel of Mark because it's little details like that let us know this is a real story. This is not make-believe, right? This is not something that just got made up. These are details of a real event, because these are the kind of details that an eyewitness would share, which is why, again, I think Peter is the one who's telling Mark what to write, or he's sharing the story and Mark's writing it down, because Peter, James, and John were the only ones in the room with Jesus that day. So it had to be one of them to have known what happened. Look, this gospel that we have, the incredibly important thing. It's more than just a historic document. It's more than just a fun narrative. It's a living, breathing thing. And it comes to life for us when we take the time to think about the reality of how it got here. Peter saw this happen. The girl was dead. Jesus said, "Wake up." And so she did. She jumps out of bed. And then Jesus says, I bet she's hungry. Why don't you go fix her something to eat, Mom? It was just that normal. See, I think we think that God is supposed to be some extraordinary, supernatural, spooky, otherworldly thing. No. God cares whether your stomach's full or not. Jesus said, I'll feed you. If you just seek the kingdom, I'll make sure you don't go hungry. God takes care of these birds. I'll make sure you have clothes. Look at the field. See the lilies. Aren't they beautiful? God is alive and well. And he reveals himself to us in these little details. They're here in the Gospel of Mark, and they're in your life and my life if we just slow down and pay attention. The evidence of God's grace, mercy, compassion, and love for us individually as real people is everywhere if we just have eyes to see, ears to hear, and hearts to comprehend. And that's my prayer for you as this Friday comes to an end and we move into the weekend. That God will give you eyes to see him, ears to hear him, and a heart to comprehend his incredible love for you. Wake up, get up, and get something to eat. Have a good weekend. See you next time. I hope you're enjoying this Bible study, this quick devotion. If you'd like more content, you'd like to know more about me and see more of the things that I'm doing, check out my website, theeclecticmonk.com. There you'll find out about my video vlog, my podcast, and a whole lot of other stuff. Hope you'll join me there. Thanks.